Are you tired of opening easy mount videos and seeing the Bronze Drake and the Armani Battle Bear? Yeah, I'd imagine so. What I decided to do for this video is try and get mounts that are still easy but aren't normally included in those kind of videos. And the first of those mounts we're going to talk about will be the Dark Warren Hardshell, the Chittering Animite, the Warstitch Darkhound, and the High Wind Darkmane. These all come from your command table in Shadowlands, so from the adventure missions, and I'm going to talk about how to do those in a much easier way. There is a little bit of setup for this. Really what you want is a character with 80 renown on one of the covenants, because what that's going to allow you to do is purchase an item from the vendor over near the flight path in Oribos that will allow you to instantly take another covenant from 0 to 60 renown. And this works on your alts as well, which is going to allow us to kind of do this adventure table cheese that we're going to do. If you don't have a character at 80 renown, honestly I would recommend doing it, especially if you're interested in getting a lot of mounts. 80 renown it sounds like a lot, but it's very, very easy to do now. You'll get a ton of it from going through all the campaign quest lines from your Covenant 1 to Corphia to Zereth Mortis. You'll get a bunch of renown from that. You're going to get renown from doing Torghast level 9 and above, from doing mythic dungeons in Shadowlands, from doing the weekly quests. There's tons of sources of it, and you'll be 80 before you even realize. And the extra incentive is once you get to 80 renown, as I said before, you can boost your other covenants to 60 renown, which is going to net you mounts from each covenant. So you're going to get a bunch of mounts from doing that. So in terms of time efficiency for the time you put in versus the mounts you get out, it's up there as one of the best things you can do. So you've now got a character at 80 renown. The next step is going to be to use an alt character that's not done any of the Shadowlands stuff. If you don't have one of those, what I'd recommend doing is making a Drakthir, because their questline doesn't take very long. That's going to be a level 60 character that can go straight into Shadowlands content. And if you've not got Drakthir already, then you're going to be able to buy the Drakthir mounts, which once again, pretty time efficient for a bunch of mounts. So you've got your character that's not done much in Shadowlands, you're going to send it to Oribos, you're going to pick up the Night Fae faction, you're going to head over to Night Fae and do the kind of introductory stuff for the Covenant. You'll get your Covenant ability, and then once you're done with that, you can head back to Oribos, and we're going to head upstairs to the flight path area. There'll be a vendor next to the flight path. You'll be able to purchase 4 of the item that allows you to boost instantly to 60 renown. We're going to head back downstairs to the Enclave section where you can change your Covenant. And now you're going to swap to the other Covenants. You're going to pick one. You're going to use the item that boosts you to 60 renown. You're going to drop that Covenant and pick up another one. And you're going to go through all of them until you're back to Night Fae, which once again you'll use the boost. And now you'll have 60 renown on all of your factions. And what that's going to give you is about 4k anima and these items that give experience to a follower. So now that we have those items, we can head back to the Night Fae kind of Covenant Hall. And what you need to make sure you don't do from here on out is pick up any additional followers. You should only have Naya and the 2 kind of unnamed followers that come with the command table. If you get the option to pick up additional followers, don't do it, because we only use Naya to kind of make use of this cheese. So once you're back in your Covenant Order Hall, you'll head to the kind of lower section where you need to deposit anima for a quest. You'll do that quest. Now on the left hand side will be an NPC that allows you to kind of use your anima. What we're going to do is dump our anima into the command table. That'll take an hour. That'll unlock. You'll come back. You'll kind of do the little quest to unlock it. And now you'll have your command table. Next up, you're going to use the 4 experience books that we got from leveling up our renown to 60 on all of the covenants. You're going to dump all of those into Naya, and now she's going to be level 55, which means the 2 unnamed followers as well are now going to be level 55 as well. So you're already massively out kind of classing all of the missions you're going to be doing. And then from this point, you'll prioritize adventure missions by putting Naya in the center and 4 trappers around her. You'll send off those missions, and then outside of that, you want to prioritize experience missions and also missions that are going to be kind of anima efficient, so they're going to get you more anima back for what you're spending. And that'll kind of sustain you for a good while at least, because you've got that 4k anima we got from the Covenants, and then you're going to be getting a little bit of anima back as well from those missions. Now, what I would recommend doing as well is looking out for the kind of epic world quests that give you like 500 anima for doing them. The best one is the one in Maldraxxus, the arena in the center where you've got to kill like 2 guys. That one's really good because it's going to take you no time at all, very easy, and you also have another chance for a mount while doing that as well if you don't have it. So definitely very efficient. And basically all you do with this character now is you log on, you check your missions, you send off the adventures, and you prioritize the kind of campaign missions, and then you only come back when the missions are finished so you can collect the reward and then send them off on another one. And you want them kind of consistently doing missions, but basically this character is only there to do missions from now on. Now this will take you a bit of time in terms of it'll take multiple days, but in terms of actual time investment, you're literally logging on for like 30 seconds if that, and logging off again. The next mount we're going to talk about is Sarge's Tail, and this comes from Hearthstone. And this is very quick. It takes like 15 minutes. It's purely PvE, so you don't have to worry about fighting any players. It'll probably take you longer to download Hearthstone than it will to get this mount once you've got the game installed. You just download Hearthstone, you log in, you do the Mercenaries mode, and the tutorial will basically hold your hand through 90% of it. You just keep going through those missions. They're very, very easy. And then towards the end, you'll have this kind of bounties thing unlock. You need to do the Quillboar bounty in the Barons section. And then once you're done with that, you'll get awarded with the mount. This is very, very easy, and it's a quite nice looking mount, so definitely worth picking up. I am also working on a spreadsheet that I hope will be an ultimate guide to mount collecting to get your first 400 mounts within the game. This will be released when I hit 100k subscribers, but there will also be goodies and giveaways along the way as well. So if you've enjoyed the content over the years and you want that guide out sooner, then do make sure you subscribe. The next mount we're going to talk about will be the Nazjatar Bloodserpent, and surprisingly not many people own this mount. I don't know if it's because it's not the best looking thing, it's alright, or if they still think the abyssal fragments are quite difficult to get or quite expensive. But whatever the reason is, it's a fairly easy-ish mount to get. It's going to cost you 60k gold, which depending on how much you play and stuff, that might be a lot, but 60k for a mount is fairly reasonable. So what we'll want to do is head to an auction house and purchase 20 abyssal fragments. As I said, this will set you back about 60k gold. You could farm these, but honestly, it's not worth it. For the time you'd spend trying to get 20 abyssal fragments, you'd make well more than 60k gold anyway, so I wouldn't really recommend that. Once you have your 20 abyssal fragments, what we're going to do is head over to the BFA zone Stormsong Valor, and on the kind of northeast, you'll find the Shrine of the Storms area. And kind of at the north-ish end of Shrine of the Storms, we'll find this waterfall at the top. You'll go through the waterfall and there'll be a hidden cave behind it. And inside this cave, right at the back, will be an altar. When I go to the altar, you want to use the fragments, and this will now turn your fragments into the abhorrent essence of the abyss. Now that we've got that, we're going to leave the cave, and now we're going to go to where the Horde base is, which is kind of on about the north-ish side of the zone, honestly. It'll be 7335. You'll find a mine here just outside of the Horde base. You'll go inside this mine and you'll take the second left. You'll jump down and then you'll hug the far left and it'll kind of curve around and there'll be a hidden little shrine in the corner. Now I wouldn't recommend doing this on a character that's kind of below level 60, but if you're a level 70 character, go for it. This will be very, very easy. You might struggle a bit if you are level 60, so would definitely kind of wait until you're 70 before you do this kind of stuff. So you're at the shrine, you're level 70. You'll use the item and now it will summon a mini boss. You'll kill this rare, it's not very difficult as I said at 70, and you'll loot it and you'll get your mount. Easy as that. The next mount to talk about will be the two Ramkehen camels, the tan riding camel and the brown riding camel. And getting exalted with Ramkehen really isn't too difficult, it'll take you just over an hour-ish. To get this done, what you'll want to do is head over to Tanaris, and on the left side of Tanaris you'll be able to pick up the introductory quest chain that will lead you into Uldum. It'll be called Easy Money. You'll pick up that quest and it'll lead onto a chain. You'll end up in a cage. You'll pick up that quest. You'll kind of do the objectives. You'll have like 3 more quests to do. And as you go through this, eventually you'll end up in the main base for Ramkehen. And you'll have another quest where you get to choose either gold or reputation. Obviously we're going to choose reputation because our goal right now is to get friendly. You'll continue questing with these guys until you hit friendly. It should be another like 5 or 6 quests at this point to get friendly. And then once we're done, we're going to head back to the main base in Ramkehen, and there'll be a vendor here that will sell us a tabard. We're going to equip the tabard, and then we're going to head over to Twilight Highlands, which is in Eastern Kingdoms, and we're going to fly over to the Grimbatol dungeon. Once there, make sure you are on heroic difficulty. We're going to head inside and we're going to pull all of the trash while avoiding the bosses as we go through. And there are these kind of ogre brutes, so I would recommend killing them as you go along because they're quite slow, they'll lag behind. Everything else, we're just going to pull it by kind of like pulling the mobs with a spell or running through them, and we're going to kite them all the way to the end of the dungeon pretty much. Once there, you can round them up, get round the corner and kind of kill them all off, and once they're all dead, you can then jump into the kind of chasm in the middle and that'll kill you. You can walk outside, reset, and go again. A run will take you about 4 minutes and you'll get about 2,000 reputation per run. So as you can see, it'll take like an hour and a half-ish to get exalted. Once we're exalted, we head back to Ramkehen. We're going to speak to the vendor again that sold us a tabard, and now you'll be able to purchase your 2 riding camels. Up next is going to be Torghast, and this is going to be decent value as well. From this, we're going to get the Moorsworn Charger and the Colossal Soul Shredder Morat. And not only that, you'll have a chance at the Colossal Umbrahide Morat as well while we do this. If you've never unlocked Torghast before, it doesn't take too long. You want to go to Shadowlands, you'll start the introductory quest lines, you'll pick your Covenant, you'll head to the Covenant and do the base stuff there, and then you'll be sent to Oribos to speak to Bolvar. You'll be assisting Bolvar in the Moor, and eventually you'll unlock Torghast. It won't take long, maybe like 30 minutes at most. Once you have Torghast unlocked, we're going to be doing the wings that are on the left hand side. So you'll head over there, you'll start with the very first portal, you'll go inside, and I think by default it starts at level 8. And you want to keep going through that, so you'll run through level 8, you'll clear it, and then it'll unlock like level 11 or 12, you'll do 12, and eventually you'll end up at 16, which is the max, and that's the one that we're after. So once you have 16 unlocked, next up we need to do 16 on all of the different wings as a flawless run. And flawless runs are quite easy. In the footage I'm showing you now, this is a character that doesn't have the kind of cube unlocked that gives you additional perks and stuff. This is just a base character that's level 70. Definitely would recommend being level 70 for this. You don't need too crazy gear either. I think I'm like 415 on this character. And to get ourselves a flawless run, the main things you want to do is not die. Make sure you kill, click, and loot everything or rescue everything you possibly can. So go through all of the areas, as quickly as you can running. But, make sure you're killing every single mob, you're clicking every pot, you're saving any NPCs, you're opening chests, basically anything you see along the way, interact with it, kill it, whatever. And once you're done with that as well, make sure you're hoarding all of your currency that you're getting, don't spend it on the vendor. And the final thing is try to avoid any traps, because getting hit by a trap gives you a penalty as well. So just take your time with the traps, take them slow. And the final thing is you'll have this empowered bonus. I just clicked on cooldown, honestly, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You'll be able to carve through a ton of mobs while it's going anyway. And then go through each of the layers, and eventually you'll end up at the boss layer. Kill that as quickly as you can. And as long as you've not messed up too badly, you should now have over 200 points, which will give you a flawless run, and you'll get the achievement for doing this wing on not only 16 flawless, but also 12 flawless. And for the more sworn charger, we need to do every single wing on 12, and for the colossal soul shredder, we need to do every wing on 16. That's why we're doing it on 16, because it counts for both. And also doing any wing above 13 will give us a chance for that colossal Umbrahide Morvat to drop from the last boss as well. So you may loot that while you're going through the different wings. Replicate that for the other wings, and then you'll be done. You'll get yourself 2 mounts, potentially 3. The next one to touch on quickly is the allied race mounts. There'll be 5 allied races for you to pick up, and once you go through their quest chains, it takes like 40 to 50 minutes. You'll get a new allied race unlocked, which you can play, and you'll also get a mount from doing it too. And I see some people still confused about this, but they removed most of the requirements. The only thing you need now to play the allied races is a level 40 plus character. So as long as you've got that, you can go through those quest lines and unlock your allied races. You don't have to grind rep or do other stuff anymore, literally just level 40. The one thing to note as well is some people do these while they're already leveling a character. So they'll get a character to level 40, they'll head to their embassy within Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and they'll pick an allied race quest line, and they'll go through that so they're getting experience as they go, and they're working towards the allied races. The next mount we're going to talk about will be the Bleakhoof Ruinstrider, and this one won't take very long either. Now you will need to have unlocked Argus, and if you've never unlocked Argus before, I will have a video in the description down below on how to unlock Argus so you can get that part done. Once you're in Argus, you'll want to move the Vindicar above Crocombe, which you can do on the kind of teleport map. Once you're there, speak to Romul, who's nearby, and he'll teleport you down to the Crocombe hovel. And as you walk down the path, you should see these 2 portals where demons are just kind of like spewing out of them. And this is where we can now start our grind for the Bleakhoof Ruinstrider. What it requires us to do is to kill 2,000 non-trivial demons, and luckily the demons coming out of these portals class towards that. So we're just going to kind of plunk our character down here, and you're just going to kill demons over and over and over again until you get this done. I was able to kill about 40 to 50 demons per minute, so as you can tell, like, it wouldn't take that long. 2,000 sounds like a lot, but when you're able to kill like 40 a minute, you're going to get through this pretty quick in less than an hour. Next up, we're going to talk about Maelie the Wanderer. Now, once again, it does have a bit of criteria. You need to have unlocked Korthia, and if you've not done any Shadowlands stuff, this may take you a bit of time, but once again, well worth it because it'll give you access to more content and later down the line, more mounts. So, you'll progress through the main Shadowlands campaign until you do get to the point where you unlock Korthia. What we're going to do first is head to the main base in Korthia, and you'll find a Night Fae NPC nearby called Tiny Bell, and if they say in the chat, not when you talk to them, but like say it out loud, "Excuse me, character name, do you have a moment?" then that most likely means Maelie is available for this day, because there's days where Maelie just won't be available, won't be in the zone at all. So if you see that, you're pretty much good to go. And what we're going to do from there is run around Korthia with a macro that's /target Maelie, and you're just going to keep spamming that. And eventually you'll find Maelie if she's available for that day. If you don't know where she is exactly, once you've got her targeted, you could either mark her with an icon, or you could do /focus and it'll kind of pin it on your map. And you'll walk over to Maelie, you'll talk to her, Maelie will now disappear. You can head back to the main base again and talk to Tinybell. And that is 1 day done. You need to do this for 6 days, so not too long at all, and you will get yourself this mount. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to run around Korthia, so not long at all, and most of the time you won't even need to go all the way around Korthia, so you'll find this takes about 3 to 4 minutes per day to do. On the 6th and final day, you'll head back to Tinybell, you'll be able to speak to her, and now you will get yourself Maelie the Wanderer. The next one up is going to be some old mounts from Wrath of the Lich King, but surprisingly there is a low percent of people that obtain these mounts even though they're quite easy. They don't look the best, but it's still 2 very easy mounts you can add to your collection. And these are going to be the Grand Ice Mammoth and the Normal Ice Mammoth. These are going to come from Exalted and Revered with the Sons of Hodir, and to get this started what we'll do is head to Storm Peaks. At K3 there'll be a goblin inside the inn and they'll give you the quest called They Took Our Men. You'll go and complete that quest. You'll click the keys, head back, and once you're done with that, there'll be another quest called No Goblin Left Behind. And this will start the kind of quest chain to get to the Sons of Hodir. It's pretty linear. You'll go to the village with the Hildnir, I think they're called, and you'll be assisting them, training them up. You'll get a bear, you'll fight some people, and once you're done with all of that, you'll be flying around on a Proto-Drake around one of the big towers. You'll be jumping from Proto-Drake to Proto-Drake. It's actually kind of cool. And once you're done with that, you'll end up at the very top where Thor is. You'll hand in the quest, you'll listen to his story, and now you'll get some more quests to begin kind of repairing the friendship with the Sons of Hodir. So you'll fly out to that quest chain, and there will be these Storm Giants. Make sure you're looting these, because they will give an additional quest item that we do need, so pick that up and start the quest. You'll kill the Storm Giants here and the Fire Elementals. Once you're done with all of that, you'll head all the way back to Thor, you'll hand in both of these quests, and you'll get like 30,000 rep per quest or something, and handing them both in will get you to Honored. Now the cool thing is, if you do this during time walking for Wrath of the Lich King, these 2 quests will actually get you to Exalted because you're going to be getting double the rep for these quests, and they already give an insane amount of rep. So that's going to take you straight to Exalted just doing that. Now if you've already done this quest chain before, don't worry though, or you don't want to do it during time walking, completely fine. Complete those quests, head back to the Sons of Hodir village, and now you'll be able to start handing in these relics of Ulduar. And if we head to the auction house, we can pick these up for like 10 gold or something silly, and we only need 1,400 of them. So for like 10k gold, I think it's even less, I think it's like 2k gold honestly. But 1,400 of these will be enough for you to turn them in and get yourself to Exalted. Once you're Exalted, you'll be able to speak to the faction vendor, and that will sell you both of the mounts, so 2 quite easy mounts for your collection. The final ones we're going to touch on will be the Forest Strider and the Dancing Bears. These come from the Darkmoon Faire island and they cost 150 prize tickets each. And the Darkmoon Faire just gives you a ton of tickets. So if you were just to do all the activities, you could get about 250 tickets per month per time the Darkmoon Faire is available. So you can get a ton from that. But what we can also do once per character is purchase a map. And this map can be purchased from Galissa on the docks in the Darkmoon Island. And this will cost you 100 Darkmoon Daggermaws. These are generally pretty cheap. But if they're a bit too pricey for you, you can just fish them up as well. Will take you a bit of time, but it saves you some gold as well. You'll purchase this treasure map, and this will start a kind of treasure hunt. So the first thing is to go to the raft on the coast, which is a little bit north of where we are now. There'll be a tent, and inside that will be a bag that you can loot, and this will give you the next stage. The next stage will be to go to the sandbox in front of the roller coaster, and there'll be a thing that you can click there, and that'll give you the next one. Then it'll be to head back towards the docks, and there'll be a zoo section. And underneath the kind of crystallized guy near the basilisk, there'll be another item for us to get. Now we'll want to head all the way back to the entrance where we were, when you start the Darkmoon Faire. And you want to walk towards the Darkmoon Faire. On the right hand side will be an item for us to click in the dirt, and that'll be the next stage. And then the final stage will be a shipwreck off the northwest coast. You'll head over there, you'll see a purple sail. You'll swim down, and next to the wreck will be the loot for us to loot. And completing this will give us 100 Darkmoon Faire prize tickets. So at this point we only need 50 more to be able to purchase one of the mounts, and you can get this from handing in the dungeon and PvP items. These will cost you a few hundred gold from the auction house. Or you can also do the mini games. This will get you about 42 tickets total if you do the mini games every single day. Or you could do the profession quest, that'll get you like 15 to 17 tickets. Or if you're good at pet battles, you can do the pet battles here and you'll end up with a total of about 100 tickets from that. So you have plenty of options. As I said, you can get about 200 and odd tickets just from the general activities, and you only need 50 more. Once you get your 150, you'll speak to Lara, who's kind of in the middle of the Darkmoon Faire, and you'll be able to purchase either your Forest Rider or your Dancing Bear. And as I said, this can be done once per character, so you could log on an alt, do the treasure map again, and rush yourself to 150 tickets. Also, while you're here as well, you could fish up or purchase the Darkmoon Daggermaws and buy the Dark Water Skate mount. So that brings us to the end of our easy mounts video. Now obviously these are a little bit more difficult than the Bronze Drake or the Armani Battle Bear, because there's a reason those are so heavily covered, is because they really are the easiest mounts you can get. They take no effort and no time at all. But considering the effort and kind of skill level required for these mounts, I thought these were good ones to cover and a little bit different from what is normally covered. So hopefully you learned some stuff and now you're going to get yourself some new mounts to your collection. Thanks for watching guys, look out for more videos coming soon. See ya!